They walk in that room, they become yours. And you got this energy inside your soul that says, I am the number one determinant of the success or failure of my students. Hey, y'all, when you get back, kick some butt. I'll see you in the winner's circle celebrating your victory. Let's go. 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 Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, everybody.
And we are live. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to week 181 of the AP and New Principals Academy. Let me see who we got here. And I might say live from Grapevine, Texas, right on the outskirts of Dallas. We got Sharon Wright in the building. We got Arlette Johnson, Connecticut AP Principal of the Year. We got Ricardo Giannis, Scott Wiley, Mona Abimolek. We got Lorraine Jackson in the building. Rodney Richardson, Takesha High, Tashika Truesdale, John Hurricks, Principal Otis Kitchen II. Khadijah De Silva, Michael Benton, Asia Burnett, Adonna Burns in the building. Jacqueline Harriet, I'll see you soon. I'm going to reach out to you later on today so we can set up a time to talk about my visit. Janie Smith is in the building. Is that Janie Smith from East Orange? If it is, great to see you. Carlo, Dr. Roz Gaskins, Dr. Sheikah Houston just finished with the Create and Educate live stream along with Dr. Tammy Taylor, 10:30 every Saturday morning. And they follow up on Sean Hurt, 10 o'clock, Facebook Live. He was throwing down as well. Nikki Tolbert, Principal Sherrod Laws in the building. Katrisa Latanya Charles, Rashard Davis, Superintendent Peter Finch, Dr. Rella Hicks, Stacy L. Joy. That's one of our promoters, man. I love what you do with keeping us out there in the public eye. Where we at? We got Principal Dot McKeever Jeter doing well. Principal Tammy Taylor, also known as Dr. Taylor, in the building. Kenyelle Williams in OKC. I'll be in OKC in a few hours. Right, I'm going early. I'll be there, and then I speak there Monday at a high school. Katrina Washington's in the building. Lily Lanier, I don't know if I said that one or not, but if I did, we say it twice. Ronald Pugh is in the building. I met one of your colleagues here at the ASCD conference. Melissa Jones-Chunu is in the building. There's Sean Hurt, like I said, 10 o'clock. He took care of business, but he always does. Facebook Live, go right to his page. Abisola Ashuntulu is in the building. There's the Queen. I haven't seen her in a minute. Kimberly Broughton Kafele in the building. Ain't that sad, man? I gotta see my wife through the StreamYard, man. We ain't in the same crib right now, but I'll be home Monday, y'all. Vanessa Zeskins in the building. Edwin Garcia, that's Jersey, in the building. I'm getting ready to get it started, y'all. We got Justin McMillan, Lysandra Brackens, David Isaacson, Akimo Dawson, September, Devon Vance Daniels. And let me say, if any of y'all are at the ASCD Leadership Summit and you watching me, you watch on the sneak tip now. Don't let the folks see you watching me. we got Lucia Jordet in the building. Rasan Matthews is in the building. MPA Jaguars is on fire. Buenos dias back to you. That's Josh Tovar, Principal Josh Tovar. And you know something, Josh, I thought I was going to see you here in Grapevine. I was looking for you, right? Yolanda Croswell is in the building. C. Devrin Smith. And I think I'm getting ready to shut it down. Alex Lopez, Lakeisha Mabry, getting ready to shut it down. Let me see if it's somebody that I just must holler at. Oh, Donna Sherrigan. You know, I can't overlook you. I mean, all that publicity you've given us over the years, man. We've been on this thing for 4 years now. So yeah, someone new said 4 years. I was just turned on to you yesterday. Yeah, we've been doing this for 181 consecutive Saturdays. We haven't missed one. I'll be international for the next 2 sets. Well, I'll get into that in a little while, right? So, all right, I think I'm good. Let's go. I don't see any of my local homies. Oh, I see one, man. He ain't local, but he's homie. Craig Boykin, I see you. Good morning to you, sir. Keep on doing that heavy lifting. For those of you that know Craig Boykin as a speaker and maybe not know who he is these days, he went into the classroom, y'all. Craig Boykin's still a speaker. If you need his services, you call him. He still does this. I don't want to mislead nobody. Craig Boykin is still a national speaker, but he's also in the classroom. Imagine that. He said, let me get in this classroom and see what this is all about. He's in there. I got nothing but respect for that. High respect. Right? So good to see you, Craig. Always, always. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna cut it off right there and say to any. I see you, Yolanda McKinney. That's another one. She been rocking for 181 weeks. I can't not say her name. And Kimberly Carruthers as well, man. Some of y'all, man, y'all been rocking since the beginning. But let me say to you, and I'm not getting loud here. I'm in a hotel room, y'all. So let me just say to you, good morning. Greetings. Welcome to week 181 of the AP and New Principals Academy. And as I always ask, I've been asking this in my keynotes lately too. I'm gonna ask you the question as I always do because I don't think it ever loses its relevance. How are you? How you feeling? How are you doing? How are things going? You know, yesterday, as I'm in the context of this question, I keynoted here at the ASCD Leadership Summit. And I wrestled with something in terms of how I was going to start with my how are you? And I said, do I pretend that this is not happening and just do my keynote, or do I bring the real world into the keynote? And I brought the real world in. I was watching television the whole night before, and I'm watching everything that's happening in Israel and the Gaza Strip. And I know definitively, y'all hear me. I know that there are Jewish people that tune into this academy. And I know that there are Palestinians that tune into this academy. I know that definitively. I'm not doing keynotes and I'm not doing this academy and pretending that that's not happening. This TV behind me is the one I was watching. So I just want to say, because I'm not going to politicize. I'm not going to politicize this or share anything that I may believe politically. All I'm going to say is what I can say is I'm sending up prayers to everybody out there that's impacted, that's affected by what's happening in that region. Right, the images that they're showing on TV, and quite frankly, I don't know that all of those images should be shown on television with children watching, etc. But we see them, right, and we process them. But here I am hosting a platform every Saturday for school leaders that is watched nationally and internationally. I gotta say something, right? So just again, I'm sending prayers to anybody that's impacted in any kind of way by what's happening in that region of the world, Israel, Gaza, right now in real time. And I'll just keep it right there. So for the rest of us, I'll ask you, how you feeling? Right? How you feeling? And again, I say it every week. If things are going great, man, that's good, man. And you probably represent the minority, right? If things are going great, because we all dealing with something. We all got something in us that we're dealing with. But you know something about that? A lot of us, we're dealing with things, but we don't tell anybody. We just deal with it. So in the context of the work we do as leaders. So it's not an easy job. Stuff's going to get to you. Stuff's going to bother you, right? Stuff's going to make you question yourself. What I do with my mirror, man? I took my mirror in the bathroom to make sure I was groomed right and left it in the bathroom. So somehow I don't have a guest. I can't take me off screen. So I got to figure that part out because I need my mirror, right? So, but a lot of times we're dealing with stuff, whether it be on the job. So with the leadership, could be issues with your team, your administrative team, issues with certain staff members, issues with students, issues with parents, issues with just the pressures coming from central office, issues or challenges, obstacles with the job in and of itself, whatever it is. But we're the number one, we're the principal, right? Or the new principal, or we're the assistant principal, and we're still trying to make a name, right? So here we are, man, I can't tell nobody, man, but I am beat down. Oh my God, I can't even get up in the morning. This is brutal. This is overwhelming. This is why I tune in on Saturday. I need some energy, man. I need to hear somebody positive that can get me back on track. Whatever it is, right? So now in terms of what you're grappling with inside, it's not being addressed. It's just there. Right. So then you go back. So you get the 2 days off on the weekend, but then you got all that work you got to bring home. So you're still really on the job. Right. Then you go back to the building, the physical building, but you never dealt with the issue. So what I'm saying to you, as I'm going a little longer than I wanted to on this, but I think it's necessary because, we, like Sean was saying in his live stream this morning, it's October and people are burning out now. Already we got a whole year to go. People are burning out. So I'm saying to you, your network of people, right? Are you around people that not only are willing to hear your concerns, but want to hear? That's a difference. It's one thing to be willing to listen. So that's your friend. Okay. So it's a mindset like, all right, that's my homie. I'll listen. But then it's a different experience when it's a person that says, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what's on your mind. I want to hear what's on your heart. That's a different conversation. That's a different person to be speaking to. See, so I'm saying to you, evaluate who's in your circle. Because if your circle is just people who, I'll listen to you because you're my friend, that ain't the one that's going to help you get through this journey. And remember, everybody's not going to understand what it is to be a new principal. See, there's a difference between being a new principal and a veteran principal. See, that veteran principal, they got a lot of miles under their legs, man, under their feet. But that new one, you don't even know what this is yet. I mean, if you've been in this thing 2 years, 3 years, you still don't know it all, man. That's why I say new principal 1 to 5 years. And then that assistant principal, you trying to, if you aspire to be principal, you trying to make a name, man. You trying to be seen, right? So you're not going to be letting people know, yo, man, I'm burnt out. I'm overwhelmed. I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. Let me get back into the classroom. But I'm going to say to you, do not quit. Don't quit. You can't afford to quit. Don't quit on yourself. Don't quit on your dream. Don't quit on your passion. Don't quit on your vision. See, you worked for this. And if you didn't know how difficult this was, then you weren't looking. If you were in the classroom as a teacher, you saw it from a distance. You wanted this position because you saw how for the user, for lack of a better word, let me go unprofessional, but how messed up it was, right? You said, I want to get in there and effectuate change. All right, so now you in there. Well, don't throw in the towel. Don't give up and quit, but you got to have the right support system, the right network. That's what you need. Y'all, I'm turning like my opening into a whole presentation. So I'm gonna get ready to close it. But see, y'all comments is why I keep going. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? It's these comments that make me keep going on this, because apparently it's resonating with some people out there, right? But again, let me just close it this way. You can't, and I know this, you can't do this work in a vacuum. You can't do this work in a silo. You can't do this work in isolation. You can't watch the Lean on Me movie and try to move like Joe Clark, man. I ain't gonna never criticize that man. All I always say is I'm not him. I can't do it like him. I did try, and I was humbled. I can't do it like him, right? And so I'm saying to you, don't watch that movie and get motivated, man. You will know all the lines and all that stuff, and you motivated, man. I'm going in there, man. I'm just going to be kicking butt all day. No, man. That stuff ain't real for most of us, right? You got to have that support system, and that support system, it needs to be comprised of people that understand what you do. So when it's other leaders, it's even better. School leaders. But if it's not school leaders, but people in leadership that lead people, right? Then they get leadership. But I'm gonna tell you the piece that they don't get. I've said this on this platform before. The piece that they don't get is the leadership that you all do is very unique. It's very special. It's different from all other facets of leadership, meaning you lead two very different entities. Most people who lead, they lead adults. They could be in different capacities, but they're all adults. You lead, let's say you're in elementary school. You lead adults ranging from age, say, 22 to 65 and better. And then this other population of 3-year-olds up to about 10 or 11-year-olds, right? If you're elementary. So imagine, just look at the gulf in between. And you're not even leading them separately. You're literally leading babies and adults at the same freaking time. That's not for everybody. At 8 o'clock and 2 seconds in, you leading some child, talking to some child. And then at 8 o'clock and 45 seconds in, you saying something to an adult at the same time. It's like your mind, your soul, your heart, your spirit got to make a quick shift within the same minute, and then shift back in various different circumstances. Do you hear me? So that's a different leadership. And then here comes a parent, right? Who doesn't think, this particular parent in my imagination, who doesn't think like an educator, but instead thinks like a parent. So now you trying to talk to, like you're in a meeting, so you're trying to talk to these different entities, but you can't come at the parent with your educational background and connect on that level, depending on just the space that parent is in. You may have to go to somewhere like transfer yourself way out here, but yet the kid is in here. Maybe the teacher's in the room, and you gotta balance all this stuff, man. That one that just leads adults, they don't have to do that. And then, like, think about it. The staff person's parents are not, like, you lead at some business somewhere, right? Some business, some corporation, whatever. The parents of the employees are not coming to the job to challenge you. And I might add, the parents are not coming in to cuss you out in some regards, right? So you in this very unique situation, Don, that's the word, pivot. You in this very unique situation that can be so overwhelming. Ooh, so overwhelming. And you trying to do this in isolation because you think you superwoman, because you think you Superman. that I got to prove to the world that I'm built for this? Nah, man. You got to have some people that you could bounce some stuff off of. I try to, that's why I do this every week. I know we're not dialoguing, but I mean, I know this walk. If I don't know anything else in the world, and there's a lot of things about the world I don't know, I divorce myself from a whole lot of conversations because I don't know stuff. But one thing I do know, I know school leadership, man. When people check on in here on Saturday morning, I know what y'all feeling, man. I know what y'all dealing with. If I don't know anything else, I know what an AP is dealing with. I know what a principal is dealing with. If that's my whole world, fine. I can speak intelligently on Saturday mornings. Saturday afternoon, I might be out of my league or out of my lane with somebody, right? But on Saturday morning at 10:55, oh man, this is my lane. This is my lane. I stay right in it, right? So make sure, folks, I'm gonna wrap this up. And there's nothing in my notes that says talk about this. Sometimes I gotta follow God, man, because I know how that works too. That's another one of my lane. I know when God walks into the room. I know it. I'll go up on the stage. I got a whole agenda, PowerPoint. And some of y'all, you've seen me live. I never hit that clicker. It said the title of the presentation, and at the end of the speech, an hour, 2 hours later, it still say the title of the presentation. I never got to it because God said, we ain't doing that today. We going in a different direction. All right, God, give me the words, and I'm just going to articulate them. That's how that works. Some of y'all understand that. Some of you like, I don't even know what he's talking about. See, I ain't gonna preach y'all, but see, when you got that connection, man, sometimes God just gonna use you. That's what I mean. He say, shut the heck up and let me speak. Let me enter and let me speak. You just shut up and follow directions. See, some of y'all don't get that. I know that. I know some of y'all don't understand that, right? So let me just stop that right there. And listen, y'all, I'm going solo today. I'm already way over where I should be because I needed to follow directions this morning, right? Shout out to Rawway Public Schools. If anybody on here from Rawway, New Jersey, shout out, man. I loved my time in your space. I had a few people email me and they said, you made some people feel uncomfortable in their Kafele. I said, okay, well, that's what I'm supposed to do. There can't be change if everybody's comfortable. So I appreciate the folks from Rawway who were writing me, man, you made some people feel uncomfortable on Monday. I mean, and they don't mean, because I'm not going to go in there and insult you. Never. But if I can make you uncomfortable and get you to think deeply so that you move differently, then that's what we're going to do. So shout out to them. Shout out to National Family Engagement Conference. They were in Kansas City. I did it from the computer, but we had a good time, man. Shout out to them, including Darla Edwards. She's been running this conference for a long time. Shout out to the NJPSA, New Jersey Principal Supervisors Association, Foundation for Education Administration, and New Jersey ASCD. They combined for the AP conference. I keynoted that this week in Atlantic City. That was great, man. So shout out to them. If anybody from that conference is on, shout out to you individually. And then lastly, shout out to the ASCD Leadership Summit here in Grapevine. I'm at the Grapevine Gaylord right now. And I was the opening keynoter yesterday and had a great time here with the folks. If anybody's on here watching, that means you at the conference. So don't let nobody see you watching me right now. You stay on the sneak tip, man. All right. Hey, y'all, welcome to the first timers. If this is your first time, you missed 180 weeks, right? So go to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and then binge watch them. AP and New Principals Academy. I don't have any books to show you today, so just make sure you pick up a copy of the AP, the Assistant Principal Identity, my newest one, and the Assistant Principal 50. Make sure you get a copy of that too. I signed a lot of them books yesterday, man. That's a blessing anytime you sign someone's book. Shout out to Grace Castaneda. I don't think she's on here now, but she's one of our regulars, but she was here. Man, she brought me a bag of Skinny Pop popcorn, man. Can you imagine that? That's why I love this so much, man. Y'all be listening and paying attention. She knew I liked that Skinny Pop, man. She came with a little bag of Skinny Pop with a thank you note on it, man. It was great to meet. It's always great to meet the family members in person. She'll see the recording and she'll say, "Oh man, Kafele shouted me out." And then like and follow the Facebook page, AP and New Principals Academy, y'all. Make sure you like and follow. I'm getting ready to get it going, y'all. Hit the share button, hit the retweet button, hit the repost button, hit the tag somebody, go to them Facebook groups. One of them groups, man, they stopped accepting my ads. I won't call them out, but one of them, they like, we ain't accepting this no more. I'm like, all right, you don't want me to put the advertisement. It's not like I'm selling anything on your Facebook page, but what you're doing is you depriving some people on that particular page from this information and all these fabulous guests that I bring on this show, on this academy every week, right? So before you block me and others on that particular Facebook group, it's a group, principals group, just think about the fact that, ain't nobody trying to make money. It's a free service. In fact, most of my colleagues question why I do it. Not most, some. Like, come on, Kafele, you giving 2 hours of free content every Saturday? Why don't you sell that? Why don't you set up and do seminars in different parts of the country? Nah, man, I'm doing this. It's free, right? So that Facebook group, maybe some of them, if you notice you haven't seen me lately on Thursdays when I post, that's because they blocked me. Tell them, no, we need that on here because he's giving free information. He ain't selling nothing, right? All right, enough there. Let's go, y'all. I'm ready. Let's go. So my topic today, I don't know how long I'm gonna take. I do have a flight at 2 o'clock Central, maybe 2:30, 2:40. I don't know, whatever it is. I ain't gonna miss that flight. But right now it's 10:22 Central. So I'm good, man. I'm good. So my topic, what is my value to the teachers that I supervise instructionally? And that's the question. I'm gonna repeat it like I did a few weeks ago when I did part 1. What is my value to the teachers that I supervise? Now I could stop it right there. Put the question mark right there. I'll tell you offline, Melissa. So I put the question mark right there. That's not the question I'm asking. I'm not asking you what is your value to the teachers you supervise with a question mark there. You probably have great value to them. I'm asking you, what is your value to the teachers that you supervise instructionally? Because at the end of the day, instruction is where the rubber meets the road. Learning is where the rubber meets the road. Everything else is a vehicle to get there. And I always use as an example, equity, social emotional learning, cultural relevance, cultural responsiveness, growth mindset. And I can go on and on. Those are vehicles. They're automobiles. This is a vehicle. We're going to call it, this is a car. And until it gets to where it's going. Now we get there, we can get out and walk into wherever we walk into. But so we can't treat all of those are the vehicles necessary, right? I'm not walking to the airport, y'all. It's going to be an Uber or a taxi that's going to take me to the airport. So therefore, I got to jump into a vehicle. But the vehicle that I'm going to get in, that ain't the end game, man. That's just to get me to where I'm going. And then the airplane is not the end game. And then the hotel is not the end game. Even that's a vehicle. The end game is the audience at the school I'm speaking to on Monday. Everything else is just transport, a vehicle to get me there. You like that, Sheikah? Everything else is just a vehicle to get there. See, so the vehicle matters though. I ain't walking. No. And I swear, I hope I ain't driving no rental to Oklahoma. I mean, it's only 3 hours and some change, but I don't feel like doing 3 hours of driving a day, right? So vehicle. Instruction in learning is where the rubber meets the road. What is my value to the teachers that I supervise instructionally? Now, do me a favor, y'all. I'm gonna take me off the screen for a hot second so that I can get my mirror. Don't leave. I'm back, stronger than ever. I need it, man. I can't do nothing without this. I broke a mirror on the road recently, and I'm like up there talking and using my hand. I'm like, here's the mirror, pretend. And then I said, anybody here got a makeup kit, and you could give me a mirror? And you know, all these women got these makeup kits. So somebody gave me the mirror. I said, oh, thank you. I need them. I need my mirror, right? So here we go. Let's go. So just as a recap, I was saying to you last time, about 3 weeks ago, I think, I said to you, the conferences, the institutes, the academies, the seminars, the lectures, the presentations, the podcasts, the live streams, the videos, the books, the journals, the blog posts, the PLNs, and whatever else, all of those, got to clean the mirror, all of those have this one thing in common. None of them can provide you with feedback, direct feedback, a teacher with direct feedback of instruction. None of them. You can't read that book. Man, I love this book. It's the best book I ever read. Okay. Let me know when the book is going to give you feedback of the implementation of what you wrote. Oh man, I watch Principal Kafele. Right now, let me take me out of it. I watch some podcasts, right? As a matter of fact, a teacher podcast. So I watch this podcast, man. Oh my God, this thing is so good. I watch it every week, right? Or listen to it every week. When I'm in the gym, I'm listening to it. All right, but let me know when that podcaster is going to be in your room to give you feedback of the implementation of what you learned, right? Oh, I went to this conference, man. Oh my God, the best keynoters I've ever seen. In the breakout sessions, oh my God, they were everything. I am so recharged. All right, well, that's a good thing. That's what the conference for. Give you information, inspiration. But let me know when all them breakout session speakers and the keynoters will show up at your school and give you feedback. Let me know. Let me know about that. See, that's not going to happen. The direct feedback is coming from in the building. And it ain't coming from anywhere else. If it is, if I miss something, I mean, a Zoom presentation, yeah, somebody got a camera set up. Yeah, I get it. But it ain't going to be that one that was at the conference. Right? So I'm saying to you, I'm waiting for the day I'm speaking at a conference and someone says, Kafele, could we set up a Zoom and then you just watch me teach? I will be taken aback and I probably do it. But obviously that's not going to be normal, right? That's not going to be the norm for that teacher, that I'm going to be the one watching every time they teach, because that means I don't have anything. I'm retired. I got nothing to do. I just sit around and watch TV all day. Okay, let me watch the teacher teach. So that's not going to happen, right? So I'm saying, therefore, I'm asking, therefore, then where is the direct feedback coming from? And I don't mean the twice a year when it's time for the evaluations to be submitted. I don't mean that. I mean, where's that ongoing coaching coming from? Well, let me give you the answer. It must be coming from you. Hey, y'all, hit that share button, hit that retweet button, hit that repost button, hit that hit that like button, man. I keep forgetting that. That's the algorithm, man. Hit that like button. Let them know we here, man. We here. So that's you, and we gonna finish this thing. So there's a question: what is my value to the teachers that I supervise instructionally? But I want to say it differently. Does my leadership benefit my school instructionally? Let me tweak it again. Is there a correlation between my leadership and student academic outcomes? Is there a correlation? Write those down. And I'm gonna put these questions on the screen again, like I did the last time. So just at the core of why students attend school then every day is to learn. I just want to use that as a backdrop. That'll be the foundation for everywhere I'm going today. So as if I can use as two overriding questions or overarching questions, right? Is instruction sufficient enough for optimal learning to occur? Is instruction sufficient enough in my building under my leadership with the teachers that I supervise, is it sufficient enough for optimal, not just learning, but optimal learning to occur? That's this, right? That's why I had to run and get it. Is instruction sufficient enough for optimal learning to occur throughout your building, right? That matters. Let me see that. Let me just see what's on here real quick. All right. All right, sounds good. All right. So, but then my other overarching question, underlying question, what role does your leadership play toward ensuring learning is occurring optimally? So the same questions, but just a different emphasis. What role is your leadership playing? Think about who you are as leader. Think about your past week. And what was it about you during this past week? What was it about your leadership during this past week that you could say that a teacher, a couple of teachers, a few teachers, whatever number of teachers, but there was growth pedagogically in your school as a result of your leadership? Now, I want to say this about that. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you did it, because you have instructional coaches, and boy, do I have the guru coming on next week when I'm in Jamaica. Nicole Turner, one of the instructional coaching gurus in America, will be my guest for 2 hours next Saturday, live from Montego Bay, Jamaica, talking about everything instructional coaching. So now here you are, leader, and you have instructional coaches. But let me just create this scenario for you. But because in this particular district, the coach and the teacher are in the same bargaining unit. Man, I just noticed I ain't got my bracelets on. Y'all, stay there for a second. Don't leave. All right. See, my wife knows I'm a creature of habit, man. So I'm not in my right environment. So I'm not doing things right. I don't come on without my bracelets, man. So now that instructional coach may be in the same bargaining unit with the teacher. So we here. So now if I don't have the people skills as instructional coach to be able to engage with the teacher in terms of being that asset to what's happening pedagogically in that classroom, because the teacher sees me, yeah, it's superpower in the brain. You understand that, Keena? There's power in this thing, man. So now the teacher can't benefit from the instructional coach, because in the teacher's mind, I don't need you. And but more so, you don't have authority over me. I don't have to listen to you. See, so there's a culture breakdown in that building. So now it may not be you, leader, that's having the particular conversations with a given teacher. But what is it about what you did this week in terms of strengthening your instructional coach so that that person is that much more equipped to go into a classroom and have a follow-up conference or a pre-conference before they even went in, and there's no issue, there's no friction, but the teacher welcomes and embraces the instructional coach to come in, because the culture of the building is such that the instructional coach is an asset to the classroom. See, that's you too. You can't just send the instructional coach out. Okay, your job title is instructional coach. Your job description is to coach. So go ahead and coach and let me know how it's going. And I'll be over here disciplining these kids for the next 6 hours. See, it don't work that way. You know that, Sheikah, Dr. Houston. You know that, Dr. Taylor. You know that Principal Tovar. You know that, Principal Hurt. Y'all know that. That's my partners. That's my team. right? So it don't work that way. Oh man, so good. I got instructional coaches now, so they can handle that. But the instructional coach over here doing battle, and you don't even know it. And you over here reading referrals all day. But yet you're going to write an evaluation. Evaluation on what? You don't know nothing about that teacher. You don't know what goes on in that classroom. You can speculate because of the volume of referrals that come down, but you're not in position to correct that. You're not in position to rectify that because you're reading referrals all day. Right? So, again, let's go back to the question. What is it about your leadership that the instructional coaches are being that much more successful and productive in their role? Let's go, y'all. So real quick recap. The last that whenever that was 3 weeks ago that I did the first session on what is the value of what is my value to the teachers that I supervise instructionally. I said, what is instructional leadership and what does it mean to my practice as an AP and new principal? Do I understand that my main priority is student achievement and the continued improvement of instruction? What do I know about excellent pedagogy beyond who I was as a teacher? Do I have a philosophy, beliefs, opinions, ideas about how children learn based on my own research, reading, and experiences? And I capped it off with, does instructional leadership define my primary role as assistant principal and new principal? If not, why not? So that's where I left off. I thought I was going to do part 2 in December. And then my guest, I'm trying not to say anything. We didn't make it work this week. So, how that expression goes, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So this bad boy was already written. So it was like, okay, I don't have a guest. I ain't calling nobody last minute. Let me just go solo. So here we are. So let me get those questions up here on the screen for you. So we gonna start right here. So get your notepad out, get your tablet out, whatever you use, your camera, take pictures of the questions. And then I got a bunch of sub questions which I won't have on the screen because I'm probably going to be using them professionally. So I don't want it in live in person. This is professional, but when I'm in person, so I'm not going to be using that. But I want to start off here. I got 5 questions and I'm done. 5. Some of y'all that know me know 5 questions could take like 3 hours though. But I got 5 questions. Here we go. Would I consider the instructional aspect of my leadership to be my primary, and I probably should have capitalized that word, my primary focus as a leader? What is the evidence? Again, would I consider the instructional aspect of my leadership to be my primary focus as a leader? What is the evidence? Before I break this down, let's just look at the question. I'm asking you to look at you. First part of the question, I'm asking you, just look at you. Like, be honest with yourself. Who am I when I'm leading? Who am I? And I'm sorry, I'm not putting your comments on the screen, y'all. That I ain't that skilled. I could do it when I got guests, but I can't do it while I'm speaking, right? Right. So, but I will be reading them when I see them now, but I'll be reading them when I'm on the plane later. So here's the thing. When you look in your mirror and you assess you with an honest eye from last week, or if you want to go throughout October thus far, who have you been? Have you been that instructional leader? Have you been that instructional coach? So would I consider that aspect of my leadership to be, here's that word, my primary focus as a leader? And what is the evidence? So I'm breaking this down this way. I got these 4 sub questions to go with all 5 of my questions, right? So that means I guess I really have 20 questions. So here we go. So as I put this together, I said, so to break down that question, have I deemed instructional leadership and coaching to be a priority of my leadership? Let's talk about it. Hey, somebody out there. Have you deemed it? See the overarching question is what would I consider? But now let's go deeper. Have you deemed Like, have you made a conclusion that instructional leadership and coaching must be a priority of your leadership? See, a priority. And again, I got to keep saying it. I'm going to do this session until I can't do it anymore. I mean, not this session, but I'm going to be on this platform until I can't be on it anymore. Like, this is my life on Saturdays, right? So I'll be saying this for a long time, that learning is where the rubber meets the road. And if you're going to be the leader that you were hired to be, and it said better, if you're going to be the leader that you are supposed to be, then pedagogical growth has to be happening under your leadership. Teacher development has to be happening under your leadership. You're not the teacher in the classroom. You're one of the leaders in the building. New principal, veteran principal, assistant principal, aspiring principal. You're going to be there one day. So, I always use the sports analogy, and since we're in football season, I can't believe we're in basketball season, but we are. But we're gonna stay with football. I think basketball, like on Christmas Day, right? So the coaches are coaching. That's why they call them coach. They're coaching every day. Coaching. They're in the athlete's ears. That's ongoing, even off season. They're coaching. So as I always ask on this platform, how consistent is your coaching? How regular and ordinary is your coaching? Has your coaching been normalized? That this is just what we do. This is just what I do. Our culture in our building, our leadership, we are a team of coaches. And we're going to talk about the breakdown this morning and afternoon between who needs what. So if anybody's like, what, the same thing everybody? No, we're going to break that down, man. That's in the notes, right? So have I deemed instructional leadership and coaching to be a priority of my leadership? Let me go to this second one. Do other aspects of my leadership preclude me from being the instructional leader that my staff and students need me to be? And if so, why? So again, I'm under number 6, 4 sub-questions. Do other aspects of my leadership preclude me from being the instructional leader that my staff and students need me to be? Let me answer the question first before I delve into it. Oh man, we got the scam stuff that just showed up. Hang on a second, y'all. Let's block this. Yeah, they hitting me hard too. I got them. Yeah, that stuff. The devil be busy, man. Y'all know that. I think the YouTube folks might have seen that stuff just pop up. The devil be getting busy, man, because we putting this content out here. Devil said, nah. Let's throw some porn out there at them. That's how it works, man. We all right. We good. So here we go. Let me read it again because I got distracted. Do other aspects of my leadership preclude me from being the instructional leader that my staff and students need me to be? I mean, first and foremost, the answer to the question is yes. I don't care who you are. I don't care how superstar you are. I don't care what awards you've attained over the years. I don't care what recognition you got. Things are going to arise. So if somebody's, somebody's upset, stressed out, and whatever over the fact that, I can't get to this and that the way I want to, right? Listen, this is a real world. Yes, things are going to arise. Yes, there are going to be those days you just can't be who you want to be. That's going to happen. But that's not what the question is asking. See, the question is asking a bigger question of, so therefore, how are you anticipating the various things that could arise? How are you getting ahead of those things? What level of attention are you giving to the culture of your school? So let's use as an example that disciplinary APs watching, particularly disciplinary referrals are flying down your way like they going out of style, right? You walk outside your office and it's a stack of them, or if you're doing them electronically nowadays, however you receiving them, it's like, oh my God. Well, what is it about your leadership and the attention that you give to the culture of that school that this inundation, this daily deluge of disciplinary referrals is normal in your school? Because it ain't normal in all schools. And when I say that, I mean your schools, which in the past had all these disciplinary problems, behavioral problems, bad reputation out in the street, all that. And now all of a sudden, these are places where everybody wants to be. That's because the leadership shifted. Either the leadership shifted or the leadership was replaced with people that understand how to make this thing happen. So I'm saying to you, if that's your reality, parents rolling up all the time want to speak to you, central office calling you all the time, and you got to be here and there, referrals being sent to you, issues with young people, other issues that arise in a school setting. What is it about this abstract thing called culture that you gave maximum attention to? Like to use this word, I used it a few weeks ago. You gave the culture some love. See, you gave the culture some intimacy. Yeah, I said it. You gave the culture intimacy. You gave it love. You gave it attention. You gave the culture a box of candy, right? You gave the culture a dozen roses. See, I got to put it that way. See, so you said, I'm going to date you, culture. You my love interest, culture. See, that's what I mean. I don't mean like you just flirting with the culture. Right? I don't mean like you just kind of looked at the culture and admired the culture. I mean, you gave it your all, man. Because watch this, right? Because you wanted to spend the rest of your life. Y'all hear me? You wanted to spend the rest of your life with the culture. See? You wanted that culture to be compatible. I've been married 34 years, y'all. I dated my wife 5 years before we got married. So we've been together 39 years, right? That's called compatibility. Y'all hear me? That's called compatibility. So you as leader in that culture got to have compatibility. But imagine, if you will, man, it's amazing how these little thoughts pop in my head that ain't on my paper, right? Imagine, if you will, that you and the culture are at odds. Let me say that again, man, because y'all ain't hear me. Imagine, if you will, that you and the culture are at odds. And you and the culture wind up in divorce court. I don't know where this analogy is coming from, but I'm going with it. You and the culture are in divorce court. And the judge said, leader, you're going to have to step outside that house you live in because I'm going to grant this divorce. You're out. Did you hear what I just said, man? I ain't never said this before. Meaning that you ain't worthy of being in that school no more. Because that culture has put you on notice. And the powers that be, the superintendent, etc., they saw that this marriage that I thought, because see, when they performed that wedding ceremony, that marriage, and brought you together with that school, well, now that superintendent went from preacher to judge. And he said, I made a mistake when I performed this wedding. And now I got to ask you to leave because the culture and the leader are not compatible. Ain't no love here. It's a war. It's a fight. It's conflict. It ain't working. Y'all ain't even speaking to each other no more. Y'all sleeping in separate rooms now. See, it ain't working. See, that's what happens. See? That's what happens. I'm saying to you, somebody, you got to buy. So tonight, you go to that florist and buy that culture a dozen roses. Go to that local drugstore and get one of them big boxes of candy. And when you walk into that building on Monday, you say to the culture of your building, you got the roses right here. You got the candy right here. You say, here, honey. Here, honey. I love you, honey. And I'm staying with you. Now, somebody that tuned in late, they like, what the heck is this dude talking about? But if you've been with me for the past 5 minutes, then you rock it, right? So what I'm saying is this. That's how you got to treat the culture of your school, with love, man. With care, attention, affection. But see, some of us, I appreciate you, Tara, but some of us, man, you just taking the culture for granted. The culture gonna love me regardless because I'm me. I want y'all to hear me, man. I don't know where this is coming from, and I might not even remember it. I might try to like use it later and like, what was that thing I was saying on Saturday the 14th? That was good, man. Because it happens sometimes. It's like, let me pull that on the keynote. Man, I can't get that thing right, man. Listen, but I got it right now. Listen. So you hear you leader somewhere. Oh, the culture, yo, it's me. You know, it's me. It's me. Culture gonna love me regardless, man. It's me. I'm big time, man. Suit costs $400. All that. See, nah. Culture said, I mean, in the beginning, because it's like new. I ride with you, But now after some time, culture said, yo, man, I'm sick of you. I'm sick of your stupid behind. I gotta go. And so the analogy, you got put out, man. You gone. Because you failed to give the culture the love, the attention, the affection, the appreciation, the respect that it required. That's it, y'all. That's it. It ain't in my notes. I don't know where that came from, man. I don't know that. Because I think I made it make sense in a way that, the education jargon can't do it, right? My mother probably sitting there like, you tripping, man. And my wife, man. So let's go, y'all. So that was the second part of the question number 6. I might not finish today, y'all. Number 3, letter C. I see letter C under number 6. How do I rate my skill? This is a big one, y'all. I know I ain't gonna finish today. It's gonna be part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How do I rate my skill at planning, organization, and time management as it relates to me being the instructional leader, the instructional coach that I want to be? Right? Yeah. Sir Giovanni, he need this, Josh, for sure, because that stuff dry, man. So, how do I rate my skill at planning, organization, and time management as it relates to my instructional coaching, instructional leadership? Let's break this down a little bit. So the planning, you can't just walk in there, right, and think that it's just going to all work. Hit that share button, retweet, repost, tag somebody, tag them Facebook groups, tag your colleagues, your homies, your friends, your family. Let them know we here, man. We dropping this information, man. The client can pay me thousands for this. I do it for free on Saturday. So here we go. The planning. Like, what's your plan? Like on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, whenever usually my day was Sunday. So by the time you put your head to the pillow for Sunday night to go to sleep for Monday, have you been able to conceptualize and take your thoughts and put them on paper and identify what Monday is going to look like from start to finish? Then Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday, then Friday. Have you planned your week, or do you just walk into the school and show up and just wait for the stimuli to come at you? See, you got to have that plan, man. So you got to plan your week, or at least plan for each day. You know, think about a teacher lesson plan. Well, I'm saying a leadership blueprint, right? So now you going to plan it. You know what 7 o'clock going to look like. You know what 7:30 going to look like. You know what 8 o'clock is going to look like. So you're going to plan this thing out. You can't just walk into school and, man, I listen to Kafele Saturday. Man, this dude be firing me up on Saturdays, him and his guests. Instructional leadership is missing from my work. I'm going on there on Monday. I'm going to be that instructional leader. I'm going to be that instructional coach. And then you get to the school, but the culture is what it used to be on Friday. It ain't changed. Ain't no miracle happen over the weekend. The culture is the culture. So what's my plan? What's my strategy to shift the culture to ultimately so that I can walk into my building and be who I want to be, and say it differently, who I need to be? What's your plan? You got to have that plan. You got that plan of action, man. So your planning, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because I got so much ahead of me, but planning. Number 2, organization. Are you organized? Man, I be, you know, because of the work I do, I'm in a lot of offices, y'all. I'm in a lot of offices, and it's a lot of places, man. I'm like, I know this person ain't organized. I know, I can see that from the office. You ain't organized. You just walking around this school doing whatever you're doing, but you are not structured. You are not organized. You got to be organized. I mean, just this platform. I had a guest coming on. The guest didn't respond to my emails on time. I'm organized. Certain days, I know these questions I'm gonna cover when I'm writing them. Then the next day, then I'm gonna do this number of questions. Then the next day, okay, this is the day I'm gonna tweak the questions, right? Then Friday, now let me review the questions. Then Saturday, let me memorize the questions, or not memorize in terms of like pretending like I got all this in my head, but know my stuff, right? I'm organized. So when the person wasn't responding to the email, I'm like, all right, you messing up my whole flow. We going solo. See, so I'm saying that to say, with everything you do, you got to be highly organized and structured if you're going to be that instructional leader. Because you can't be that. Because just the instructional leadership alone requires organization. But first, you got to have the organization to allow your schedule to permit you to go into the classroom. But then the actual coaching, man, there's notes with that. It's templates with that, right? It's structure with that. It's organization with that. So you have to be organized. Or you be going into a classroom and not even remember that you went. Or you go into a classroom and forget, I got to provide feedback. I got to provide follow-up because you're not organized. Or you'll go into a classroom and you didn't organize yourself and structure the visit and take good notes. And then you go back, now you following up. You don't remember what you saw because so many other things happened. So she could just use the appropriate words, systems. You have systems in place in order to make this happen for yourself. You chose leadership, but you chose school leadership. It is not easy, but it is highly fruitful and rewarding. So planning, organization, and time management. Ooh, time management. That matters. Man, it's getting hot in here, y'all. Time management, right? You can't allow time to manage you. You've got to manage the time. I've spent so much time on these 3. I have 5 sessions. I put them in a playlist. Some of y'all that maybe didn't see the post. I rebranded my AP and New Principals Academy YouTube channel to make it much more user friendly. So I took all the 181 weeks and I put them into separate playlists by category. So you don't have to be scrolling looking for stuff. So planning, organization, time management is a separate playlist now. I think it's 5 of them. So now you can just go to the page, to the channel, click that link, and then all 5 of them will pop up, right? So I made it user friendly. So now you don't have to scroll 180 different to look for certain topics. All right, so I don't need to spend any more on time management because you can go back to that video to check that out. Let's go to letter D. Who are the other instructional leaders on my team, and what does our collaboration, coordination, and cohesion look like? Let me say that again. Who are the other instructional leaders on my team, and what does our collaboration, coordination, and cohesion look like? What's it look like? Man. See like here you are in a school. So this wouldn't be an elementary school. I mean, it could be between yourself as AP and principal. But at a secondary school, it could be 2, 3, 4, even 5 assistant principals. I was at a school in Chicago once. They had 9 assistant principals, and the student population was less than 2,000. I couldn't believe it, but that's what they had, right? And so the question is asking, within the realm of instructional leadership, are we collaborating? Or is each administrator as instructional leader moving in a silo? And therefore, no kind of collaboration, no kind of comparing notes, etc. You just doing your thing in this silo, that one's in this silo, that one's in this silo. So here, look at what happens when you move that way. Here's the biology teacher that you happen to evaluate or supervise. But then here's the other 9th grade biology. Here's the other 9th grade biology teacher that this other AP supervises, and in a big school. And then here's this other biology teacher that a different AP supervises, perhaps. I'm just making this up off the top of my head. But the 3 administrators are now talking to one another about this, about instruction in a biology course. So there's no collaboration. But then combined, there's no coordination. See, it's like 3 separate entities instead of bringing the 3 entities together as one. So one might say, but it sounds like you're putting a little bit more time on our plate. No. I'm talking culture. See, when culture is right, it makes life easier, right? So I'm talking collaboration. When collaborations happen, it makes life easier. I'm talking coordination. When coordination's happening, life gets easier. It simplifies life, not makes it more time consuming. So collaboration, coordination, and then cohesion. Right here. See, we moving as one. Because ultimately, whatever successes this biology teacher is having, we expect this biology teacher here to be having the same successes. So let's assume that this biology teacher over here is performing at a very high level. Like I think I shared with you all, I know I did last week, and then I shared it with my audience yesterday. A teacher could be like a superstar, right? And the students who are, there's no rhyme nor reason as to why the students are assigned to this teacher. It's just the luck of the draw. So by the luck of the draw, Mr. Kafele is my teacher. And my friends have Miss So-and-so next door or Mr. So-and-so over here. Let's just say for the sake of discussion, I mean, they did make me the teacher of the year. So let's just say for the sake of discussion, I'm good at what I do. Let's say for the sake of discussion, I'm very good at what I do, right? Just for the sake of discussion. I ain't patting myself on the back. So now what's happening is, the students who are assigned to me, they go and get what I give. But let's say your friends, the students in my class, their friends are with rookie teacher, fresh out of undergrad school. We're in an urban district. Teacher ain't never worked in an urban environment in his or her life, ain't never been around urban people in his or her life. And in my case, ain't been around black people except saw them on TV. And now you the teacher of these kids who are the friends with the teacher, the students I have. Guess what the outcomes are going to be as far as the differences? Because this teacher has so much to learn. But by the luck of the draw, 25 kids got sent to me, and then 25 from the same neighborhood got sent to her. So now, watch this. Let's get deeper with it. So now, one could, I don't want to say predict, but maybe surmise that certain outcomes, short range and long range, might be determined that year in 5th grade. Y'all don't hear me. Listen, I don't know why so much that I'm saying today ain't on my paper. This is a little different today. So it's 5th grade. And 25 of y'all gonna be with me. I'm seasoned, man. I've been doing this. They say you the building teacher of the year, the district teacher of the year, the county teacher of the year, New Jersey State finalist, teacher of the year. Y'all with me. I got understanding of what this thing is called teaching and learning. But then I got this rookie teacher next door to me, brand new, fresh out of college, does not know urban America. You think she's going to get the same outcomes as me? In time, she probably will, but not right now. But by luck of the draw, them kids got sent to that rookie that don't know this environment. So now, AP is supervisor of this one. I got my supervisor. This teacher over here got their supervisor. Unless we coordinate this, where the one AP gonna supervise all 3 of them. However it is, but the kids by the luck of the draw, because somebody got to be in each classroom. So now here's the point. I'm hollering at y'all. If things are happening in Kafele's classroom, and he's teaching whatever, and she's teaching the same thing, and he's teaching the same thing, then it's on us to make sure that there's parity. That no matter what classroom you go into, oh, it's going to be high performance. That's us. That's us. But somebody just fictitious, not you, but fictitiously somebody but there's a leader that I'm talking about. You listening to me right now fictitiously, right? I mean, you might be really listening. Let's see what happens. And you like, man, I hear Kafele. I hear him. I have that teacher, you said, the one over here. You said, I have that teacher. That teacher is on my staff. But I ain't got time to work with her. Because she's sending half the referrals to the office. But she ain't the only one. I don't have time to work with them. Man, hey, I got to turn the air conditioner on. Hang on. I had to turn that thing to 65 because I'm sweating in here, right? So I'm saying to you, that's the collaboration. That's the coordination. Yeah, Josh, it's that Texas heat. I mean, I'm not supposed to be in the Gaylord sweating. That's that collaboration. That's that coordination. That's that cohesion that I'm talking about. Look at this, man. You would have thought I would have went and got a towel while I got up, right? So now if somebody walked in here, they would say, it's very cool and comfortable in here. But y'all, I'm on fire this morning, y'all. I'm blazing. I really am. I am. So think about that, right? Please write that down. Please write that down. The collaboration, the coordination, the cohesion. Write that down and ask yourself, how does this apply to me? Let's go to the next question, y'all. I don't think I'm going to finish this today, man. But that's okay, because I'm going to be doing more solos, man. I get, guest solo. We coordinated, man. All right, here we go. Next question. What does instructional leadership look like for me during the normal course of a day? Well, at least I could drink some water, though, right? That was good. What does instructional leadership look like for me during the normal course of a day? Right? So you're just going through your day, doing your thing. And this thing called instructional leadership that myself and my colleagues, our fantastic 4 team, Sean Hurt, Dr. Sheikah Houston, Dr. Tammy Taylor, Josh Tovar, Dean Packard, this is at the core of the work, man. You might have other things that you do and you love, you passionate about them. I ain't mad at you, but you can't allow those to supersede instruction, because that's where the rubber meets the road. So what does instructional leadership look like for me during the normal course of a day? I got these 4 sub questions. I'm gonna go quick, man, because I'm gonna try to finish this today. How many teachers can I realistically coach on a given day? And how do I determine which teachers need more coaching than others? I told you I was coming to this part now. Let me read that to you again. How many teachers can I realistically coach? I didn't say visit, coach on a given day. And how do I determine which teachers need more coaching than others? When we talk about your relationship with staff, it's just, and we use that word equity with young people. Well, equity is not confined to the adult-child relationship. Equity is also a part of the adult-to-adult relationship. Everybody on your staff does not need the same thing. But if you find yourself trying to be the same person to each staff member, you're doing a whole lot of people a disservice. First, you're doing yourself a disservice. Then you're doing the school a disservice. Then you're doing that veteran teacher a disservice. But most importantly, you're doing the teacher that needs you a disservice, because you're expending too much time in too many other places that don't require your attention. So what I'm saying to you in that regard, your veteran, I mean, everybody has receipts, which is the data. So the data is going to tell you. And like by the time they name me teacher of the year, all that stuff, do I need a coach all the time? I mean, really? I'm getting awards from the governor. I need a coach every week? And that's not me patting myself on the back, but it's just saying I was seasoned. I was a veteran. I figured this out. I don't need no eyes in my classroom all the time, right? But my neighbor did, the one on this side and the one on that side. They needed it. They needed it regularly. So cut me out. I don't need that. Now, in full disclosure, I didn't get it, right? But I'm making a point here on this platform. So assistant principal out there, new principal out there, don't plan your week and say, okay, I'm going to give Kafele X amount of time, and then I'm going to give the teacher over here the same amount of time. I'm going to structure this so I'm being fair and equal, right? And then I'm going to give this teacher the same amount. No. Your plan might say, I don't need to see Kafele, right? Like we talking about this week. I don't need to see him. I don't need to see him for this month. I may not need to see him, but the evaluation season, because I know what he does, right? But Miss So-and-so over here, all right, so now I can take the Kafele time, and now I can go over here and spend my time with this teacher that needs me, right? And this teacher over here that needs me. So let's go back to the question: how many teachers can I realistically coach on a given day, and how do I determine which teachers need more coaching than others? So I'm really dealing with the second part of that question right now. So, and not only, in terms of I don't need it, but here's the other thing: that veteran that's taking care of business, this taking these kids to heights previously unimagined. You insulting that teacher by going in there with some coaching on a regular basis. That teacher don't need you. That like that, they need you, but not like that. So don't insult them when they taking care of business. Everybody passing state standardized tests, everybody on the honor roll, everybody National Honor Society, they all running for student council, and you in here trying to coach like they fresh out of the undergrad school program. No. Equity. See, some of y'all out there, and particularly in some of these states, y'all been listening to the media so much, you think equity is your enemy. You think it's a bad thing. It's the boogeyman. It's a 4-letter word, right? Oh, I can't be equitable with the teachers. Oh my God, right? No, you must be. Because you got teachers in there, they don't need that. My mother's on here. My mother was teacher of the year. Y'all ain't know that. She's teacher of the year. New Jersey, she received the New Jersey Governor's Award. She ain't need all no administrators in her classroom, right? Y'all probably, those of you that really know my story, you probably say, that's interesting. Your mother was teacher. And my father was a teacher for 30 years. But you went through what you went through. And then you became a teacher. You need to do a session just on that, because that sounds kind of weird to me. Somebody said, that's all right. We get to it one day, right? So, but anyway, so anyway, it was in the blood, it was in the DNA, but I was fighting it, and the DNA said, you ain't gonna win this battle, right? So I went on and became I was better than my mother. Yeah, Mom, I said it. I was better than you, right? So that's so goes life. So let's get back on script. So now, in terms of the first part of the question, I was just playing when I said I was better than my mother, y'all. Somebody might take that wrong. You ain't never better than your mother. Listen, y'all. So let's go. Let's get to the first part of that question. How many teachers can I realistically coach? Only you can answer that. You have to look at your load, right? You got to look at that culture. Remember that culture you fell in love with? Remember that culture you took them flowers to and that candy? Okay, you got to look at that culture. Matter of fact, maybe you might even buy the culture a ring. Get your culture a diamond ring. They may deserve more than candy and flowers. Get them a diamond ring. So listen. Mike will say, wait, I clean that up, Mike. All right, stop making me laugh, y'all. Listen, you gotta figure that part out. Hey, Sheik, I know, man. I gotta get home, man. I still got like today, tomorrow, and Monday. Oh my God, right? Then I'm going to Jamaica, man. Y'all gonna see pictures of me sitting on the beach. You're gonna see my toes. Listen, y'all. So how many teachers can I realistically coach? You got to figure that part out. As you giving attention to the culture. I see you, Casey Shaheed, Dr. Shaheed. As you're giving attention to the culture, right? You'll figure that part out. How many can I see? Right? How much time do I need to take? How many classrooms can I visit? Right? You'll figure that out. I can't sit here and say to you, you must see X number of teachers. You must visit X number of classrooms, because you have to make the culture compatible with what you're trying to achieve. So there is no discussion. What my man Stallings on here saying? Yeah, I get a pedicure, right, with my fingernails, right? That's how I do that. My wife probably said, yes, a bit too much information you just gave, Stallings. And don't forget, you're not just talking to Stallings, you're talking to everybody that'll see this video. Listen, y'all. So it all boils down to whatever love affair you're having with the culture of your building. That's what it boils down to, right? Good stuff. Letter B. What does my instructional coaching look like on any given day? We're going to break this down with my guest next week, Nicole Turner. We're gonna break all that down because that's all we're going to talk about is the coaching side, instructional coaching. So just my 2 cents right now, that's that conversation when the two of you looking at that teacher, what that teacher's strengths are, what those teachers' deficiencies may be. And now let's hone right there. Like what is it that realistically we can see incremental growth relative to where that teacher is right now? And leader, here's what's key. You got to be able to offer strategies, or you need to be able to go to people who can assist you with offering strategy. See, you can't just when we talk about what is that meeting comprised of, it cannot be that you're condemning or you're critiquing or you're criticizing things you see, but you got nothing to offer. See, it's like the people, the armchair quarterback, so to speak, that complains about the world. I mean, they got great insight. Like, yeah, this is going on and this is going on and this is going on. Okay. And for me, like I'll be 63 on the 22nd of October. That's why I'm gonna be in Jamaica. And I have a very low tolerance to listen to people who can talk about what things are, but cannot talk about solutions that make sense, right? I never want to hear abstract solutions, because the abstract solution is the one that's heavy in the word they. So they need to do this. They need to do that. If only they would do this. And I'm like, all right, it's good seeing you, man. I ain't seen you in a while. It's good seeing you, man. I see you like in 10 more years from now, right? So I don't want to hear that. I'm not interested in that conversation. I'm not having that conversation. Like, if we're going to talk about things, whether it be school, districts, or the world, whatever it is, all right, let's have a conversation, but let's talk about how we effectuate change as well, right? If we can't have that conversation, I'm not interested in it, man. And I'm gonna be polite, but I'm going to bounce. I'm going to leave. You're going to see me leave. So if you one of them on this call right now and you notice I abruptly left a conversation, that's probably why, right? Because I ain't got no time for that, man. I ain't got no time for theory. This platform, it ain't nothing theory about it. Nothing, right? So I don't have time for that, man. I don't mind, we could have the intellectual sparring match and all that. I like that. I'm good with that. But somewhere, let's talk about how we're going to solve some things. Let's have that conversation. So therefore, that what is instructional leadership? My instructional leadership look like on any given teacher, and again, you're talking about strategy. And if you don't have it, because you may not have it with everything, you may not know certain content, and you're not comfortable with strategy in certain areas. Okay, but there are people that are, and you need to be aligned with them. Maybe, so if you're talking science and you know nothing about science, can't even spell science, well, then the science supervisor might need to be a part of the conversation. So you go get that person from central office and have that conversation, or you collaborate with that person and then you go back with a heightened level of intelligence so that you can have that conversation. But if you can't be in that meeting and you talking strategies because you don't know physics, because you don't know chemistry, because you don't know trigonometry, because you don't know calculus, that's not your excuse. That means there's a learning curve there. You got to learn something. I don't mean you need to go in there talking calculus, by the way, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to talk physics. I'm saying you got to talk pedagogy. But if there's an area where if you had certain content knowledge based on a lesson you observed, all right, then maybe the science supervisor, you could use that to buttress your conversation with that person, as opposed to faking the funk in the meeting, and therefore ain't nothing really happening in that meeting because you really don't know what you're talking about, right? So just think about it like that. Letter C. How many classrooms can I realistically visit? No, I said that one. Letter D. How quickly can I realistically provide immediate feedback to the teachers whose classrooms I visited. That's an important one. So what it's asking you is, okay, you went to the classroom. How long will it be before you and that teacher have a conversation, right? And yes, you could send a text. Yes, you can send an email as a summary, just to allay the anxiety of the teacher. In fact, I would recommend that. But I wouldn't put in that in a text message or an email, I wouldn't put anything that you didn't like in that. I would keep it positive. Right. So just particularly if you went to a class early in the morning and that teacher's now anxious and thinking about you for the rest of the day and can't focus on the students and the lesson because they're so inundated with what you're thinking. Well, then send a text if you have that kind of culture where everybody has each other's number, or you and your staff have each other's number. Send a text talking about what you like. They're going to check it probably as soon as they receive it or as soon as the bell rings, and then that way, whew, right now. They can focus. And then the critique comes later verbally. But now the question becomes, when will that be? See, when will that be? And it's got to be soon. It can't be days later and you forgot the lesson. The teacher forgot the lesson because the teacher been through multiple lessons since that day you were there. Teacher don't even remember which lesson it was. Or you might bring up when, and you know, at that one point when Jalil had done this, that teacher like, did what? I don't remember that. Like, what happened? See, it's too late. Too much time elapsed. All right. The best, as Melissa's saying, same day is always best because everything is still fresh. Let's go. Let me go to number 8. I think what time is it? All right, we got a little time. Y'all hang with me, man, because I promise you, I ain't going over 12, right? Because 12 Central, because I got a flight. Right. So and then housekeeping gonna be coming up here. They gave me extra time. They're gonna be coming up here banging on the door anyway. I said, give me till 12 o'clock Central Time. All right, here we go. Number 8. Let me just switch my page here. We getting there, man. We getting there. I'm loving this session, man. I think this is great information, man. Hit somebody up, tag them, tweet them. Let them know we here. We still here. I'm live in Grapevine, Texas. Can I, in good conscience, refer to myself as an instructional leader? And what is the evidence? Can I, in good conscience, like it's easy, you somewhere, at a seminar that I'm doing, and I say, raise your hand if you're an instructional leader. All the hands go up. Never fails, right? But now I'm saying, can I, in good conscience, refer to myself as an instructional leader when I'm talking to this person and I'm being honest with this person? What do you think, somebody? I wrote this so it's real quick. I'm gonna be able to finish this because I'm seeing it out. The rest of this I wrote shorter questions. What is the evidence? What are the impediments? What are my excuses? And how am I defining instructional leadership? So in other words, that last one, because the first 3, they really need no explanation. Let's read the question again. What can I, in good conscience, refer to myself as instructional leader? What is the evidence, right? So here I wrote, what is the evidence is one of my questions to elaborate on. What is the evidence? What are my impediments? What are my excuses? And then the big one, how am I defining instructional leadership? See, you could be defining this thing and giving the wrong definition. I don't know that there's the definition. You'll recall in week 1, I gave you this long list. If you don't have it, go back to it of my interpretation of what instructional leadership is. So just go back to that first one and go to the beginning of this of the message, and that was my definition in terms of just brainstorming and thinking about all the different facets of instructional leadership, and I stand on it. So just go through that. I don't want to read all that again, but just check that out. So you could be defining it as something counterproductive, right? And I don't mean you. I mean, just I'm being very generic now. You could be defining it counterproductively and then walking in your counterproductive definition. See, you've defined it in a way that makes you comfortable by the fact that you can't be in classrooms, that you don't have time to coach, that you can't be that person because you're bogged down into other things, right? So I appreciate that, Dr. Cheryl Thomas. So now what happens is you've justified it because you've given it this definition, which is counterproductive. So you got to make sure that your definition speaks to the need of the school. Your definition has to speak to great pedagogy. Your definition has to speak to student learning. Your definition has to speak to student achievement. Your definition has to speak to student progress. Your definition has to speak to student outcomes. Your definition has to speak to students maximizing their potential. See, if your definition of instructional leadership doesn't speak to that, then you may be of little value. Remember the title of the session, what is my value to the teachers that I supervise? So your value may be of little value. Your value may be of little worth to the teachers that you supervise. So you got to keep that in mind, y'all, right? Guess what? I finished number 8. So let's go right to number 9. I'm going to finish the whole thing. What role does self-reflection, self-assessment, and self-adjustment play in my overall instructional leadership? That's the game film. That's the game film. So here I'm saying this thing is so critical to this thing called instructional leadership, instructional coaching, because now you got to assess you, right? So first you want to reflect upon you, but then you got to assess you. You got to evaluate you. You're not waiting for the evaluator of record. Never wait for that person, as long as you got this symbolically. So you got to assess your performance. And here's the question. What is it about my leadership that the teachers that I supervise are growing pedagogically? Again, what is it about my leadership that the teachers that I supervise are growing pedagogically? Or the topic, what is my value to the teachers that I supervise instructionally? That's it right there. So that's your game film. So am I in fact studying my game film? Would be the first question, letter A. Letter B, what does self-reflection look like for me? So is it a thing where when you're driving, you kind of processing? Is it a thing where you've carved out some time, sat yourself down in a chair, told the world, don't bother me for the next 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is, and you just engage in deep self-reflection at your office, at your home, wherever it is, on your performance? But then as the next question says, what does self-assessment of my instructional leadership look like for me? Let me read that again since I stuttered. What does the self-assessment of my instructional leadership look like for me? So now it's not just you observing you in your mind's eye. Now it's you evaluating you. Now it's you with the pen. Now it's you with the journal. And now you're assessing. You're being honest. You don't have to submit this to your evaluator of record. So you can be brutally honest as to who you felt you were. But then you get your team. Remember, we talked about the collaboration, the coordination, the cohesion. So now you bring them into the conversation. Or if you're not comfortable with them in that particular conversation, then get your thought partner. Get your accountability partner. Bring them into the conversation. And now let them see what you wrote or express to them what you wrote. And then see what their feedback may be in terms of who you were as you assess you, right? And then as you engage in that self-reflection of your instructional leadership, and as you engage in that self-assessment of your instructional leadership, then you ask yourself the final question in this number 9 question. Oh, I didn't even change the question up here. Hang on, y'all. Let me put it up there for you. Let me put it up there for you. This is where I am right now. All right. So then you get to, and now I'm on the final question of that. How soon am I making my adjustments? Right? So you engage, you're studying your film, which means you're engaging in self-reflection, self-assessment, self-adjustment. But now, how soon am I making that adjustment? Will you commit yourself to making the adjustment the next day? That matters. Commit yourself to making the adjustment tomorrow. Write the adjustment down in the form of a goal and a strategy so that you can walk in that tomorrow. Right? Don't just have it in your imagination. Okay, tomorrow, man, I'm going to step up my game. Now, that's not good enough, y'all. Let me look right into my camera and tell you, imagination planning is not good enough. Because as my man, Principal L, the second guest I had on this platform, Salome Thomas L, says, a goal without a plan is nothing but a hallucination. That's what he says. And that's all it is. Right? So you make sure that you're writing your goal, you're writing your plan, you're journaling regularly. That matters. And then finally, I'm on number 10, man. I told y'all gonna get it in. Man, I'm getting this in less than 2 hours, man. So we good. We good. What time did I start? Yeah, we good. 9:55. Yeah. Here we go. Let me put number 10 on here. There we go. Last one. Hit that share, retweet button, repost, tag somebody, let them know we on the last one, man. Tell them y'all missed the first part, but you can watch the video right when I'm done. Right. So here we go. So Yolanda said, can you believe can you all believe he yeah, man. Because some of them I didn't need to spend as much time as others. But number 10, here we go. How am I utilizing my instructional coaches and APs instructionally? Oh man, y'all hear me on this one. Y'all hear me. I got 4 questions. Number 1, does the climate and culture of my school allow for my APs to be instructional leaders and coaches? Now, obviously, I deviated earlier and touched on this, but let's just touch on it. Does the climate and culture of my school allow for my APs to be instructional leaders and coaches? So I'll revisit what I said before without the animation. You got to give the climate and the culture of your school attention, right? The difference between that school that's got the behavioral challenges and that school in that same district with the same population of kids that do not have behavioral challenges. The difference, I'll give you 2 variables. The teachers. I'm gonna put teachers and leaders on the same plane, and then the culture of the building. So let me word it this way: the adults in the building and the culture of the building. I'm not putting the children in that equation, right? Some people get mad at me when I say this. I write this on Twitter every now and then, but I'm gonna say it to y'all now. I think it's the first time I've ever said it on this platform. I say the difference between a bad school and a great school. The difference between the two are the adults in the building, period. So I put that on Twitter every now and then, and it gets a lot of attention, and people, just all this debate starts, and some people get mad at me, and some people take personal shots at me, and others like, you right, I agree, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of a polarizing statement, right? But I own it. I own the statement. The difference between a great school and a bad school are the adults in the building. I stand on it. I will not deviate. Because the adults in the building comprise the culture of the school. They comprise the culture. Of course, the presence of the students is going to impact the culture. But that culture starts with the adults, not the children. The difference between a great school and a bad school are the adults in the building, period. You give me a school with the adults who got that Mamba mentality, man, that we taking these young people to heights previously unimagined. versus a different school where, yo, these kids in this part of town is messed up. We can't do nothing for these kids, man, not till their parents get themselves together. But the kids in both schools they're from the same community. But you got a different mindset of adults. And that mindset could be in the leadership as well, by the way. See, so the difference between the two, the adults in the building. Always remember that. So that climate and culture. Number 2, letter B, I should say, does my AP, hey, new principal out there, hey, principal out there, does my assistant principal have an instructional mentality? I could do one of them long sermons on this one, but I won't, but I'll say this. I'm going to flip that question. Let me give you the verbatim. Does my assistant principal have an instructional mentality? Well, that question in isolation is not good enough, because here's the extension. Does the principal of that AP have an instructional mentality for the AP? See, that part too. See, if my AP is in a building with a principal who has a disciplinarian mentality, then that's probably going to become maybe not my thinking, but the way I go about my work. But if I'm with a principal who has an instructional mentality, just that alone is going to put pressure on me to be an instructional leader with an instructional mentality. So, of course, yeah, the question is, does my AP have an instructional mentality? So, AP out there, I'm asking you right now in real time, do you bring to the school an instructional mentality? But since you're number 2 in the building, I got to go to your principal now. Hey, principal, do you have an instructional mentality for the AP? That matters. But AP, if you don't have an instructional mentality and you've been on this call with me the whole time I've been on, and you go back to part 1, which is about 3 weeks ago, and watch that. Don't go back to that school being who you were originally with this disciplinary mentality. You got to have an instructional mentality. Letter C, I got 2 more. What does my collaboration with our instructional coaches look like? Now, again, next week's guest, Nicole Turner, we're going to dive deep into that. So I'm not going to get heavy with it because I talked about it before. That relationship has got to be solid. And not just in terms of whatever feedback the instructional coach gives you relative to what's happening in a classroom, but that instructional coach, again, is not an administrator. In so many districts, that instructional coach is in the same bargaining unit, sits in the same union meetings with the teacher in those school districts that are unionized. So if the culture is not right, conducive for that person to operate the way that job description says that they should be, then when that person tries to have a conversation with a teacher or go into the classroom, they are not welcome. They are not wanted. They are not appreciated. They are not respected. So a part of that relationship, that collegial relationship with that administrator and that instructional coach is not the content and the pedagogy. It's ensuring that you know how, instructional leader, to approach a teacher and to go into a classroom and add value to their lives and professionally, as opposed to a very contentious relationship that's counterproductive, and then all parties lose. We'll go heavy next week. Lastly, last one. Have my instructional coaches forged productive relationships with teachers where there's a trust and a willingness to receive and collaborate with your coaches? Now, obviously, I got way ahead of myself, so I don't even have to respond to this. All I want to do is read it again. Have my instructional coaches forged productive relationships with teachers where there is trust and a willingness and a welcomeness to receive and collaborate with your coaches? There's really nothing to say with that one, because I've been saying about it all the time. So that takes me right to the end. And before you leave, don't leave me yet. Don't leave me hanging, y'all. Before you leave, let me say this to you. I appreciate you joining me today for this session, this solo session, a solo Saturday, as I call it, for this part 2. I want to encourage anyone that didn't see part 1, please go back to part 1. Go to the YouTube channel. I don't know what number it is. It might be 177. I don't know why that number is sticking in my head. That might be what it is, though. Go back to the YouTube channel and check out number 1, and then watch number 2 again. And there's a lot in here, including my monologue this morning. There's a lot there. That monologue, that was powerful, right? So, matter of fact, that wasn't even the monologue. That was just me talking about how do you feel, right? So, so make sure you check that out as well. And then, in terms of formal monologue, did I even address that? No, I didn't even talk about the monologue. I didn't address it, right? So the how are you feeling became the monologue. That's what happened. So what I wrote down, that'll be for another time, right? So with that said, folks, let me just close out. Let me thank you. If today's session resonated, and I see y'all started, if it added value, if it was worth your while, if you got anything from it, let me know. Give me those emojis. Let me know. I brought my emoji, but not the big Louisville slugger. We got the little itty bitty bat, man. So listen, y'all. You can't feel bad about appreciating yourself, right? Some people like they feel like that's like vanity and conceit and all that. I can't praise me. Well, if you don't, then nobody may not, right? So I'm gonna pat myself, man. Kafele, man, you hit it out the park today, right? Yeah, man, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, if you can't feel good about you, man, then what's good about life? At the end of the day, you gotta love you, man. At the end of the day, you gotta feel good about you with your faults and deficiencies. I'm looking at myself, like when I do these, it's like a mirror, right? And I got faults, man. I got deficiencies. I ain't perfect. But I love me some me, man. I better. She could say, Snoop says, I gotta thank me. That's right, man. I better. I know. I mean, like, let me holler real quick, y'all. You all know your value in the things you do. You know it. You better know it. If you don't know it, you better go recognize. I know my value. I'm cognizant. I know my value and I know my lane. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. I know where I belong and I know where I don't belong. I know which sessions I should accept as far as invitations, and I know which ones I should say no, but here's somebody that could probably do a good job. Because everything ain't for me. Right? So know you, know who you are, and be good with that. Be content. Right? And I'll end it there. Listen here, y'all. Join me next Saturday live from Montego Bay in week number 182. I got my buddy, man, Nicole Turner, the instructional leader, the instructional coaching guru. I got 2 of her books. I'll be bringing them along with me. I'll be coming right out of them books. If you want to get a head start, go to Amazon and type in Nicole Turner. And she got some dynamite stuff out there, man. So check her out. And then next Saturday, man, Sean Hurt will be on at 10 o'clock Facebook Live, followed by Create and Educate with Dr. Sheikah Houston and Dr. Tammy Taylor, followed by me at 10:55 live, and then Unlock the Middle on Sunday night at 7 with Josh Tovar and Dean Packard, both principals. And then Dr. Roz Gaskin and Coach Williams on Tuesdays and Thursdays with the Village Leadership Group. And check out Dr. Roz with me a few months ago. It's on there. Check it out when you get a chance. Make sure you get the Assistant Principal 50 and the Assistant Principal Identity and all my other books. Get them all. They on Amazon, right? Visit the subscribe, I should say, to the AP and New Principals Academy YouTube channel. I told you it's restructured. I made it user friendly. I took all 180 sessions and put them in categories to make it easy. So I got all these playlists, like a bunch of them, She go to the playlist, including the interview videos. Someone is new to me, you may not even know I got interview videos. All these people here at ASCD, because that's where I'm at right now, they rolling up on me yesterday. All these folks in Atlantic City on Wednesday, they rolling up on me, man. Kafele, man, thank you. Shaking my hand, hugging me, thank you. I got the job. The reason I'm an administrator, your videos. I couldn't get a job. I'm bombing every interview I took. My friend said, listen to your interview videos. I'm here. It's you, right? I received that, man, because that's my lane. I received that, right? So, find your lane and stay in it. If you're going to switch lanes, make sure you got a rear view mirror. Don't just come out your lane and you ain't checking the mirrors, and don't rely. Don't forget that blind spot, y'all. Because see, sometimes we look in the mirror and okay, I don't see no car. It's sitting right there. But you took the chance, not you, but somebody, because that's accidents happen for that reason, right? Because they didn't know someone was in the blind spot. So with me, when I'm switching lanes going to the right lane, I'm not relying. I'm like, that's how I get down. I ain't trusting this, right? If I'm going to switch lanes, I got to know that lane is available for me. Well, you take that and you apply that to you. I'm going to leave that right there. Like and follow the AP and New Principals Academy on Facebook. I'm going to write that, even though I'm in a different time zone. It won't be up by 10. It'll be up by 10 Central Time, but not 10 Eastern probably, unless I get up early. But I'll have my essay done, and that'll be on the page. Those of you that don't know about that, just go to my Facebook page, AP and New Principals Academy, and I write a commentary, which is only posted there. I don't post it anywhere else. It will probably get more traction if I did, but I refuse. That is the purpose of that Facebook page. You got to go there. Read the commentary. If you missed any of them, I wrote 106 of them. Just keep scrolling back. I write them every Sunday morning. I didn't write them over the summer, but before the summer, I was writing them every day, every Sunday. And then lastly, your diet, eat right. Your exercise, get it in. Your COVID precautions, take care of yourself. Hey, y'all, can I share this with you real quick? I got the COVID shot right here on Tuesday night. And I got the RSV right here the same time. I came home. I said to my wife, because I didn't tell her where I didn't mention I was going to drugstore. I was just going to a store. So I said, I got the RSV and the COVID shot. I mean, in the COVID shot. So she looked at me. She's like, really? Really? You going to keynote tomorrow? Really? I said, yeah, but I feel good. You got 2 shots? Really? So the next morning I was kind of boasting, like, I'm feeling good. I'm not, I'm good. So then we drove to Atlantic City, right? So, I'm boasting. I'm good, man. I'm good. So she looked at me, So then I'm sitting down with the folks eating breakfast before it was time for them to read my bio. So as I was eating, I'm like, it's starting to hurt, like right here. And right here, and right here, and right here. And I got a headache, and my legs hurt. Ooh. But I got to do this keynote, man. And I got to do a breakout. So I did a 60-minute keynote, I think. I say 30 minutes in, I'm in pain. Ooh. So then I finished, then I do that breakout, man. It kicked in. Then I did a mini, it was a lot of AP Academy people that came. So I said, where the AP fam? Half the room, right? I'm like, all y'all? So I brought them up front. Y'all go to my Facebook page. I did a little mini sermon. That's what I do. So somebody recorded the last part, 57 seconds. You can check it out on Facebook on my regular Principal Kafele page. And I went off. Woo! I went off in that little sermon, man. Then they said, can we interview you on camera? I'm like, interview me on camera? Yeah, it won't take long. Man, I was sitting in that room like, oh my God, I'm in pain. This hurts. Oh my God. What was I thinking when I took them shots, man? So So then I went over to my wife because she came with me. And I ate lunch and I said, I don't know how, we might need to stay here tonight. I don't think I could move, man. So my word of advice to somebody, don't take both shots at the same time. Somebody probably saying, you shouldn't have took none of them. I know. But I'm around people a lot. Y'all see them pictures, man. I'm around people a lot. So I got to. I ain't got no choice. Right? So, but the pain was gone in like less than 24 hours. I'm good. And I said, how long will the shot last? They said a year. A year? Oh, man, I'm good, man. So look, I shared that with you. Look here, y'all. Appreciate you sitting there listening to this, right? But I gotta go, man. So I gotta catch this flight, man. Vinny said, my man Vincent Stone, Dr. Stone, he said, listen to Kim. I know. She's like, one more time, y'all. Kim was like, really? My wife, y'all know I got a silly side, man. As serious as I am in life, y'all know I got this silly side. And the only ones that see it is this Saturday. I'm not like this out there. I'm really, Stallings know I ain't like this out there. It's only when something about this platform makes me act real stupid at times, right? My wife was like, really? I can't even hold the face. I got to go, y'all. Hey, y'all, have a great week. Have an extraordinary week. Have your best week yet. Really? Really? Peace. Peace. Thumbs up. Cock that fist back. 1, 2, 3. Bam! I'm getting ready to hit the sky, y'all. Have a great week, and I'll see y'all next Saturday from Montego Bay. Glad you're here.